Hello everyone, it's Christine from Mission Yoga. Thank you for joining us for another online class. So I'll just give everyone a few moments here to get themselves settled. So grab your mat, grab a water. If you need water, grab a block or something around your house or wherever you're practicing with us. If you'd like to use a prop, whatever you like to have on hand, grab it and get yourself settled. I'm going to make my way onto the mat and we'll get started. Just going to make sure I don't get interrupted as well. Turning off. Make sure your phones and watches are on Do Not Disturb. Giving yourself this next hour completely for your practice. Just some time to tune everything else out. So we're good? All right, well, if everyone can hear me, we'll continue. And today we'll begin in child's pose. So in the center of your mat, bring your toes together and bring your knees wide, about mat width apart if it's comfortable for you. If not, adjust as necessary. And bring your forehead to touch the mat. If it doesn't touch, that's okay too. Lengthen the arms in front of you. Spreading the fingers, press the palms to the mat. And take a couple deep breaths in and long exhales out. Really feeling a lengthening through the spine on the inhale. Pressing the hips closer to the heels on your exhales. And using this breath to clear your mind to any thoughts that don't serve you right now. So just like we turned off our watches, our phones, our computers, our TVs, whatever we have going on around us. Trying to turn off our minds to anything else that we don't need right now. Switching it to Do Not Disturb, we can always come back to those thoughts later. Just bringing the focus to the breath. Deep breath in, fill all the way up. Exhale, let it go completely. Okay, make your way to a tabletop position, hands and knees. Untucking the toes. Planting the palms underneath the shoulders. Making sure that the hips are stacked over the knees are in line with the ankles, and moving with your breath through some cats and cow pose. On an inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, tailbone up. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale, look up, tailbone lifts. Exhale. Gaze to the belly button, press the shoulder blades to the ceiling. Good. Inhale, look up, drop the belly. Exhale, round and curl. Feel free to move into any other variation of this, maybe turning the fingertips to face the wall behind you. Inhale, look up, breathe in. Exhale, round and curl, stretching out those wrists. And one more. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, tailbone reaches up. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale, back to neutral. From here, kicking the left foot behind you, flexing the foot, and reaching the right arm along. Thumb to the ceiling, back foot is flexed, Want to make sure I'm still in frame. We're good. I'm a little bit closer than usual today. Good. Engage your core. Set your gaze somewhere slightly in front of you. Don't look straight down. Breathe. From here, bending that back knee. Wrap the right arm around the low back for a half bind. Or if a full bind is in your practice, feel free to take that on, reaching for the top of the left foot, pressing into the hand with the foot, and lifting up to open up that right shoulder. Breathe in whatever variation you're taking. One more breath. And release, reach forward and back. With control, lower down to tabletop on all fours. Reset with one round of breath and move right into your other side, kicking the right leg behind you. Left arm reaches long in front of you. Foot is flexed, thumb to the ceiling. Breathe here. Setting up your base. Set your gaze. Each side may feel different, and that's okay. Working with whatever comes. Then bending that back knee. Maybe taking a half or full bind. Seeing what works for you. Full binding if you are. Pressing into the hand with that foot. Kicking back. Opening up the shoulder. Keep the breath moving always. One more inhale, reach, kick, and release with control. Reach forward and back, and lower all the way down to tabletop. Take one, cow pose, inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, cat, rounding the spine, tucking the chin, gaze to the belly button. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. So feel out your first downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling the feet back and forth. Shake the head out yes and no. Whatever you need to do to warm up. This is your practice. Every day is going to feel different. So always honoring that, and take whatever modifications, variations, and taking rest when you need rest. So truly listening to your body and making choices accordingly. Good. Find stillness at center. Take a deep breath in. Come up onto the tiptoes. Get into the arches of the feet. Exhale, lower the heels to the mat. Inhale, reach the right leg to the ceiling. Exhale, bend at the knee. Take it up and over to the left. You can gaze out under your right armpit. Just opening up that right hip. Breathe. My voice just cracked a little. I'm upside down. Good. And bring it back to center, three-legged dog. And lower it all the way back down, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, switching sides. Sweeping the left leg to the ceiling, flexing the foot. Exhale, bending at the knee, taking the left foot up and over to the right. Breathe here. You can gaze out under your left armpit if you choose, pressing the right heel towards the mat. Breathe here. One more inhale, reach the legs straight back behind you, three-legged dog. And exhale, lower it towards the mat. And all the way down to down dog on all fours. Breathe in. Exhale. Inhale up onto the toes. Exhale, step baby steps your feet all the way to the top of the mat until they reach your hands, and find ragdoll. So take a breath in and then fold forward to hang completely heavy. In your ragdoll, feet are at least 2 fist widths apart. You can take opposite hands to opposite elbows and just hang out here. Bringing the weight into the toes, swaying from side to side or forward back. Really making sure you're not holding any tension in the neck. The upper body is just completely heavy. Letting your feet and your legs support you. Deep breaths here. This simple pose is a good counteraction for all of the standing, the sitting, the driving, walking, any of those daily actions that we do. It's a good one to balance all of that out with. And release the fingertips to the mat. Inhale halfway to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fingertip walk your hands to the outside of your right foot. Breathe. Just a little twist. Good. Inhale, walk them back to center. And exhale, walk them to the outside of the left foot. And take a breath here. Gently opening the sides of the body. Just warming up. And come back to center. Heel toe the feet back together. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly rise to stand. Reach the arms overhead. Palms press. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment in your mountain pose to set an intention for yourself for your practice. Whatever you need, just ask for it, invite it in. And next inhale, reach up, release your intention. Exhale, forward fold, and begin our practice. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back to a high plank. Breath in at the top. Exhale, drop the knees, the chest, and the chin, keeping the hips high. Inhale to a cobra pose. Lower body plants into the mat. Peel the upper body. Exhale. Tuck the toes. Either lift straight up to down dog or come to it through child's pose. It's your choice. Meet us here and take a few breaths. Inhale, fill up. Exhale out. Inhale up onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands, step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, arms overhead, palms press. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, sweep up. One more sun A, just like that. Exhale, forward fold, taking on whatever variations you need. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back, high plank. Inhale at the top and hold. Exhale, either lower to chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly rise to stand, arms reach overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold forward, bringing a bend in the knees, setting up a runner's lunge on the right. So keeping the weight in the right foot, sending the left foot to the back of the mat. Breathe here. Fingertips are planted into the mat. Spine stays long. Breathe here. Plant your left palm to the mat or a block and reach your right arm to the ceiling, simple twist. Breathe. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale. And release it back to lunge. Take a breath here and slowly rise up to your high lunge. Take your time, set it up. Good. From your high lunge, take a bind behind your back. Your options are to either interlace the hands at your low back or take opposite elbows or opposite wrists if that feels better on your shoulders. Whatever shoulder opener is accessible to you, take it on. Find your edge and breathe. Somewhere where you feel some work, some stretch, but no pain, no pinching. Somewhere where your breath can keep moving. Good. One more breath in. And let it go. Release the bind. Inhale, reach up and straighten the front knee. Exhale, fold forward, keeping the ball of the left foot planted for a pyramid variation. Fingertips can be facing forward. If your hamstrings are a little bit more open all the time, you can turn your fingertips to face the wall behind you. Mine are not, and I need to warm up a little bit, so we're going to hang out right here. But you do what's right for you. Using our breath to take us a little bit further. Gently working into that hamstring stretch. One more round of breath in. Exhale, soften. Inhale, back to your runner's lunge. Rebend the right knee. We're going to find chair pose. So hop, step that left foot back in to meet the right. Sweep arms overhead, chair pose, tucking the tailbone. Lifting the chest, palms facing each other. Weight is in the heels. Breath is moving. Good. Inhale, come to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Find a bend in the knees and set up your runner's lunge on the left. Lean into the left foot, setting the right foot to the back of the mat. Adjusting your stance. Staying high on the ball of the right foot. Pressing the back of the right thigh to the ceiling for stability. Right palm grounds into the mat or a block. Left palm reaches to the ceiling. Simple twist. Lengthening on your inhales. Twisting, opening on your exhales. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Fingertips back to the mat. Runner's lunge. Reground through your feet, building your strong base to rise up into your high lunge. Taking your time, setting it up. Finding a shoulder opener on this side. Options again are either interlacing the fingertips, opposite shoulders, opposite wrists. If none of those work, you can always grab for your shirt. As long as you get a nice open rotation of those shoulders, you're getting a stretch. Good. Find something that works for you and keep the breath moving, breathing into that space you're creating in your heart center, in your chest, in your shoulders. Take 2 more. 1 more inhale. 1 more exhale. Let it go. Release the bind. Reach up. Inhale. Straighten the front leg. Exhale. Hinge from the hips. Folding forward into that pyramid variation. Finding some softness on the exhales. Aiming your nose towards your knee. Letting the head relax. Making sure that the shoulders are not bunched up towards the ears. You want to relax them. So relax your shoulders down your back. Inhale. Exhale, releasing any areas of tension. 1 more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, soften. Inhale, rebend the left knee, coming back to your runner's lunge. On your exhale, hop, step, however you need to get that right foot to meet the left, and sweep up. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, sit low, settle in. Inhale. Exhale. Tuck the tailbone, lift the chest. Inhale, come to stand. Straighten the legs. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. 1 more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sweep up, reach arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms and step or hop back, lower down. Chaturanga or drop the knees, chest and chin to modify. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach the right leg to the ceiling. Exhale, pull the knee to the nose and step the right foot between the hands. Ground down through the left foot. Reach up, warrior 1. Breathe here. Settle in. Having a slight turnout of the back toes. The right toes are at 12. One more breath in. And on your exhale, open this up to warrior two. Spinning the back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Strong gaze out over your right fingertips. Inhale, flip front palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Option to half bind, wrapping left arm around low back. Breathe. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, warrior two. Straighten right knee. Exhale, bump the hips back. Reach forward, out, and down. Triangle pose. Take a few breaths here. There are some hand variations in triangle that you can take if you like to, if they're a part of your practice. To maybe reach arms overhead like a beach ball. To maybe wrap the top arm for a bind, for a little shoulder opener. And even from here, maybe trying to lift the bottom arm. But if you know me, you know that just plain old triangle is my favorite. So I'm going to hang out right here for 2 more breaths. One more inhale. Exhale. Good. From here, we're going to come into classic pyramid. So carve the palms around the front foot. Hop step that back foot in about halfway. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward over your right leg. This time, maybe your hamstrings are a little bit more warm. You can turn the fingertips to face the wall behind you. And relax the upper body down. Aiming the nose towards the knee. Head hangs heavy. I like to shake my head out just to check. Not holding anything up there. So I hold all my tension all the time. Sometimes we have to actively let it go. One more breath. Let everything go on the exhale. Good. If you've moved your fingertips, bring them back around to frame the right foot. And we'll move into revolved triangle. So if you like to use a prop or a block here for a little support, now's the time to grab it. If not, bring the left fingertips to the outside of the right foot. Right hand to right hip. To start revolving the upper body to the right side of the room. You can stay right here with your hand to your hip. If you're comfortable, extend the arm. If not, stay right here. Making a slight hip adjustment by turning the right hip to the back of the room and pulling the left hip to the front of the room. Keep the breath moving in your twist. I know you're twisting. I know you're balancing. I know it's hard. Even more reason to breathe. One more. Good, and release it. Bring a little bend into the knee. Plant the palms, make your way back to high plank and move through a vinyasa at your own pace. Inhale for upward facing dog. And we'll all meet up in downward facing dog. However you need to get there, take your time. Use your breath. Shake out the legs a little when you get there. Deep breath in. Let it go. Inhale, sweep left foot to the ceiling. Exhale, pull the knee to the nose and step it through, warrior one. Grounding down with the right foot Sweep arms overhead. Bend in the left knee. Settle in. Breathe. Inhale, reach. Exhale, open it up to warrior two. Spinning the back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Open arms, open hips. Relax the shoulders. On your inhale, flip front palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Optional to half bind if that's in your practice. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, warrior two. Straighten left knee. Exhale, bump hips back, reach forward, out and down. Triangle pose. Breathe here. You have all those options, same as the other side. Maybe your beach ball, maybe your bind with your lift, maybe without your lift. I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever kind of triangle you're choosing, just stay with your breath. Another inhale. Complete exhale. Release your triangle and set up your pyramid. So fingertips around the left foot. Shorten your stance about halfway. Hop, step that back foot in. Left toes are at 12 o'clock. Having a slight turnout of the right toes. Inhale, lengthen to set it up. Exhale, fold over that left leg. You can, again, turn those fingertips, walk them back if your hamstrings are warm enough. Using your breath, taking you a little bit further into the pose with each inhale and with each exhale. Pulling the left hip back, right hip forward. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, let everything go. And then inhale, turn the fingertips to face forward if you've moved them. And we'll set up revolve triangle on the left. So again, if you use a prop, move it to this side, to the outside or the inside of the left foot. Right fingertips to the outside of the left foot. Left hand to left hip to set up. Begin the rotation with your upper body. You can stay right here with your hand to your hip if this is more comfortable. Optional to extend the arm. Keeping that hip adjustment in mind, pulling the left hip back, right hip forward. Stay with the breath. Even though you're twisting and balancing, keep breathing. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Release it. Both hands to the mat. Frame your front foot. Bend the knee. Plant the palms. And then make your way back to a high plank, moving through vinyasa at your own pace. Bend the elbows. Chaturanga. Inhale. Upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, meet us in downward facing dog. Take your time. Shake it out. Come back to your breath. Pedaling out the feet. Walk your hands to your feet and find ragdoll. Just a little mini break. Come back to your breath and a chance to come back to your intention. So maybe some outside thoughts crept back in. Now's a chance to kick them out again. Refocus and remember that intention that you set. What did you ask for? Just inviting it back in. Making it front and center. Drop the fingertips to the mat. Heel toe your feet back together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly rise up to stand, arms overhead, palms press. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sweep up, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk it out, down dog. Separate the feet hip width distance. Lift the hips towards the ceiling, heels towards the mat. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, sweep the right leg to the ceiling. Exhale, pull knee to nose. Inhale, foot to ceiling. Exhale, knee to nose, and step right foot between hands. Low lunge. Drop the left knee, untuck left toes. Sweep arms overhead, take your time. Set it up. Breathe here. If a back bend is in your practice, you can take on a mini back bend here, maybe just looking up and back a bit. Shifting your gaze. Good. Come back to center if you've moved. From here, bring the fingertips back to the mat. And we're going to set up standing split from here. So fingertips plant, tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, and at the same time pressing off with the left foot, straighten the right knee, coming into your standing split and fold forward. Working the upper body towards the right leg. I'm going to back up so I stay in frame here. Maybe working towards getting one hand around your standing ankle. Maybe trying both hands around your standing ankle. Good. Bend the left knee and begin to rise up to stand, trying not to touch down. Hands to heart center, left knee pulls into the chest. And we'll set up eagle pose. So left knee is going to wrap over the right leg and left arm is wrapping under the right arm. Breathing here. With your eagle wraps, you can wrap once or twice. So I'm going to turn towards the camera so you can see what that looks like. So if you're already working eagle, work your eagle. So wrapping once would look like this, in the legs. Wrapping twice would be going around the back of the ankle. Once with the arms is the back of the hands. Twice the palms are touching. In your eagle, sit the hips low. Keep the elbows a little bit lifted. Tuck the tailbone. Engaging your core. Finding some stability there. Breathe. Good. And release it. Come to standing mountain pose. Hands at your sides. Palms facing forward. Give your legs a little shake out. Try a deep breath in. Reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step or jump back and lower down. Either Chaturanga Dandasana or knees, chest, chin to modify. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left leg reaches to the ceiling. Exhale, pull the knee to nose. Inhale, left foot to ceiling. Exhale, knee to nose. Step it through. Runner's lunge. Drop the right knee. Untuck toes. Low lunge. Good. Arms reach overhead. And breathe. Making sure that your front knee and ankle are in line, not letting your knee come out further than your ankle. If a little back bend is in your practice, take it on this side as well. Even just shifting your gaze up and back. One more inhale. Exhale. Come back to center if you're back bending. Bring the fingertips to the mat. Getting ready to set up that standing split. I'm backing up again so I stay in your frame. Tuck the right toes. Lift right knee. Press off with the right foot. And straighten left knee. Standing split. Relaxing the upper body. Lifting through that back leg. Maybe working one hand to the standing leg, maybe trying both hands to the standing leg, maybe trying neither hand to the standing leg and keeping them firmly planted into the floor. Either is fine. Just staying with your breath. Good. Find a little bend in the knees, a greater bend in the right knee. Beginning to stand and face forward, keeping the right knee tucked into the chest. Hands to heart center, come to stand. Take a breath. And we'll set up eagle on the right side. Again, I'll turn to face the camera here. So right knee is lifted. Bend the left knee to set it up. Bringing the right leg up and over, maybe wrapping once, maybe wrapping twice. Arms to a T. Wrapping the right arm under the left. Maybe wrapping once, maybe wrapping twice. Scoop the tailbone under so your spine is straight. Sitting low in that standing leg. Lengthening through the side body. Gaze is set somewhere in front of you. Keep breathing. If you fall, just get right back in. One more breath. Good. Release it. Come to stand in mountain pose at the top of your mat. Hands at your sides. Palms forward. Relax your shoulders down your back. Deep breath in. Let everything go. We'll set up tree pose for balance. And I'll turn towards you again. So you have some options in tree pose. Either to kickstand the foot and have it, the toes and the ball of the foot remain on the mat for some support, to the inner shin or to the inner thigh, just avoiding the knee with your placement. So grounding down through the left leg first, picking up the right foot. You choose where you want your standing leg. Hands to heart to set up. Breathe. Pressing the left leg into the right foot as if they're fighting each other. Option to stay here. If you like to extend the arms, go ahead. Listening to the breath. Flow in and out. Begin to make your way out of your tree. Give the legs a little shake. And we'll set up the other side. So grounding down through the right foot. Again, option, kickstand, shin, or inner thigh. Good. Creating some resistance with that standing leg. When that inner sole meets the standing leg. Need to shake out my standing leg a little bit more. Good. So setting up however you need to. Hands to heart to set it up first. Set your gaze somewhere in front of you. Lengthening through your sides. Engage your core. Relaxing the shoulders. Listen to your breath. Being okay with being shaky. If you fall, just get back in it. Making your tree pose look however you like your tree to look. And make your way out of your tree, taking your time. Give the legs a little shake. Coming to stand at the top of your mat, take a deep breath in, reach the arms overhead, sweep up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, planting the palms, step it back, high plank. Exhale, lowering for low plank or drop the knees to modify. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra pose. Exhale, over the toes, downward facing dog. Pedaling out the legs if you need to. I need to. My legs were feeling those standing poses. Some deep breaths in your down dog. And then drop your knees to the mat and take child's pose. Knees can be wide, mat width. Extending your arms long in front of you. Fingers are spread. Palms press into the mat. Maybe your forehead touches. Maybe it doesn't. That's okay. Just meeting yourself wherever you are and being okay with it. Taking note if this child's pose feels any different than your first child's pose. Walk the fingertips over to the right, getting a stretch of the left side. Focusing your breath there. Coming back to center and walking them over to the left. Getting a stretch of the right side body. Breathing into it. Coming back to center. And walking the hands to the knees. Making your way up onto your knees. For camel pose, for a back bend. Keeping your knees about hip-width distance apart. And for camel pose, you don't want to lean back with camel pose. You want to press the front of your thighs as if they're flush up against a wall that's in front of you. Bringing your palms to your lower back to begin. Now take a breath in, bring your gaze up, and on your exhale, begin to lean back, pressing the hips forward. And maybe you stay right here, and this is your camel pose. Camel pose is a deep back bend, so be very patient, very compassionate with yourself. If you practice camel or a deeper camel, a full camel pose, you can bring your hands to your heels, thumbs on the outsides of the heels, fingertips on the inside. Deep breaths here. Pressing the hips forward. One more breath. And begin to release the pose the same way you got in. Taking your time, never flinging yourself in or out of a back bend or any pose for that matter. Taking a moment here, sitting on your heels, neutralizing the spine. And then rolling over the knees and find down dog to stretch out the back. Breathe. A few deep breaths, taking 3 to 5 deep breaths in your downward facing dog. Working to neutralize the spine after that deep back bend. Bring a bend into the knees, hover them off the mat. Breathe in. Exhale out. And straighten the knees. Inhale, drop the knees to the mat. Exhale, let it go and swing the legs out in front of you. And slowly lower yourself onto your back. Pulling the knees into your chest when you get there. Hugging them into your chest, rolling around on the back, massaging out the spine. Rocking side to side or making circles with the knees. Or doing a combination of both. Circling one way and then switching directions. Okay, bringing the hands behind the knees and the back of the thighs. Get a little forward back momentum and find a seated position on your mat for just 2 forward folds before we come all the way back down onto the mat. So starting with staff pose, finding your sits bones, both legs long in front of you, flexing the feet towards your face. Inhale, reach arms overhead, engage the core to protect your low back. Exhale, forward fold, hinging from the hips, taking your time, relaxing the head. Shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Slowly make your way back to seated. Bend your knees, soles of the feet onto the mat, and then bring the soles of the feet to touch. Knees fall open to the sides, found angle pose. Again, setting up using the breath. Inhale, sitting tall and lengthening. Exhale, folding forward. Adjusting as you need to. Maybe you need your feet a little further from your body for a more gentle stretch, or a little closer for a more intense hip stretch. We'll be here for a few breaths, so take your time and find something that works for you and your practice today. Focusing the breath to the space you're creating in the low back, into the opening in your hip flexors. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears, and keep the breath moving. Take 2 more breaths. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, slowly walk yourself back to seated, using your hands to assist you. Guide your knees together. Reach both arms long in front of you and gently lower yourself onto your back, onto your mat. Again, hugging the knees into the chest, roll around on the spine. Maybe side to side or making circles. Take happy baby, reaching for the soles of the feet. If it's difficult for you to reach the soles of your feet, you can always reach for the backs of the knees or the backs of the thighs. Optional to rock side to side in your happy baby as well. Or play with straightening the legs, maybe one at a time. Maybe both. Slowing down the breath. Pulling the knees towards the side body and keeping the feet flexed. Release your happy baby. And take an inversion, either legs up the wall pose, extending the legs towards the ceiling, soles of the feet facing up. If you have a block or a prop with you at home, you can slide it underneath your hips for a more restorative pose. If shoulder stand is in your practice, feel free to take on shoulder stand or headstand. We'll stay in our inversions for about 10 breaths. So find your inversion and take about 10 of your own breaths. If you're in shoulder stand and you'd like to come to plow pose, you may do so, or ear pressure pose if that's also in your practice. Begin to make your way out of your inversion. Extending the legs long on the mat, pointing the toes forward. Reach both arms overhead. Give yourself one long body stretch, filling up your space. And then bend the right knee and let the right knee fall across the body to the left. Arms in a T, bring your gaze over your right shoulder and let your eyes fall heavy. Sinking into your twist. Take 2 more breaths in your twist. And unwind, coming back to center. Extend your right leg, bending the left knee. Let the left knee fall across your body to the right. Arms in a T or goalpost arms. Bring your gaze over your left shoulder and let your eyes fall heavy. Really sinking into your twist. One side might feel different than the other. Focus your breath on those areas of resistance. Trying to find some softness. Using your breath to release. One more inhale. Exhale. Unwind, coming back to center. Hug your knees into your chest one more time, curling up into a ball. Hugging everything in tight. And then extend everything out long. One more long body stretch. And then exhale, relaxing onto your mat. Getting ready for Shavasana, complete rest. Letting your feet relax. Let your palms face the ceiling. Relaxing your face, your jaw, the space between your eyebrows. Just letting your breath return to its natural flow. I'm going to turn off this video and let you enjoy a few minutes of your own Shavasana. But I would encourage you to stay here as long as you possibly can. At least 10 of your own breaths here. As always, thank you for joining us for these online classes when we can't be practicing in person. Remember to bring those intentions that you're setting for yourself on your mat, off your mat. Thank you for practicing with me, and we'll see you soon.